Hi, my name is Theresa Fincher, and I'm with North Park Innovations, the home of iManifold. And I'm here with Eric Urrutia with iManifold, and he is in charge of sales and tech. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
How
How's
are
it going,
you?
Theresa?
Good, good. So we wanted to talk a little bit today about how to get more accuracy in your air temp and line temp measurements. And so, Eric, you've got a few tips you want to give everybody. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Theresa. So you guys, when you're out there using your systems, getting your air temperature measurements, there's a few things to observe while you're doing this. Number one, on the probes themselves, your probe itself, you've got two sides to it, of course. You've got your switch side and you have your battery cover side. Now, I've covered this on some of our other videos. When you do take the tip off of this, you'll see the actual sensor tip right here on the switch side. You'll see that there's nothing there. But if you look at the battery cover side, you'll see that the actual sensor tip is on that side. So what I want to emphasize here is just to make sure that when you have this in the flow of air, you want to have the flow of air coming into the battery cover or perpendicular to it. You do not want it facing the side that the switches are on, because you want airflow coming across that tip. Okay, so one of the things also, we just had a little video shot of our magnet probes, our sleeves here. When you put the sleeve on, you can always flip these things around. Okay, so if you're putting this onto a register, whether it's supply or return, you can always flip these things around back or forth, so you can place these things properly. So one of the things about getting your air measurements, we need to get away from the evaporator. A lot of guys will place that probe 4 inches above the evaporator. You're going to get very saturated temperatures. You'll get a lot of humidity and not allow for any air mixture to occur. So the ideal thing is to be about 10 to 15 feet away from the coil. So in that sense, really the first available supply air grill will work just fine, but you need to get away from that. You need to get away from that coil a bit, so it's not such saturated air. In doing that, like I said, with the magnetic sleeves, you can accomplish this, or by simply, if you're going to put holes in the ductwork, use an 11/16 inch bit. And that way you can go ahead and poke these things into the plenums or into the ductwork themselves and use the attached magnets on here to hold those in. But either way, just remember, airflow towards the battery cover. Let's put airflow across the battery cover. Another thing that I want to discuss is your ambient air temperature. Your ambient air temperature, we've got two different probes that we're working with. One is our little 902M, which is the 4-inch thermistor here. We've plugged these into the 912M probe, or we put them into our 913M, which is your low side probe, or into the back of the iManifold itself, if you use an iManifold, to attain your ambient air temperature at the condenser. With the use of these, you have to watch out, because we don't want to get any reflected heat coming off, the sun beating down on the side of the condenser, and this is resting right up against that piece of metal. You're going to get some false readings there. That reflected temperature off that metal is going to be a lot hotter than the actual air that we're trying to measure that's coming into the condenser. So keep in mind, you want to keep this in just the air. A lot of instances, I prefer to use the 12-foot air probe, and it has the same thermistor in, but you got 12 feet of probe to work with. That way I can take the probe here and either put it right into the back of my manifold, put it onto any of my probes, and then put my actual thermistor on the shaded side where the condenser is. So I'm actually measuring that air temperature and nothing else but air temperature. We're not getting any reflected ground heat. We're not getting any reflected metal heat or anything like that to offset our measurements. So air measurements, just a few tips on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And could you also, and I think could you touch on a little bit more not using the thermistor as a cleaning tool?
Oh, yeah. What we're going to do, this is about our thermistors to get your line temperature, your liquid line and suction line and discharge line temperatures. What we use is a true thermistor. Most of the probes that are out there, they're little bead probes that are welded to a piece of metal. Very durable, not so accurate. But our thermistors here, they're manufactured by Cooper-Atkins. And as you can see here, this is a strap type thermistor. We also have a clamp type thermistor as well. Both have the same sensing thermistor in them. But the way that they're constructed, thermistors, there's a little flexible pad, and this is just a very thin piece of copper with a heat transfer kind of paste. You know, it's a little paint that's over the thing. So that's actually the sensing part of it. You're just going to place this up on top of your line, pull your stretch, and pull it over here, okay? Now, the thing is, what a lot of guys do, they take a look and they'll see that the piping has got a little bit of corrosion on it. And they'll take their thermistor and they'll just rub it on the thing, trying to get that corrosion off. Well, what you're actually doing is you're tearing that thermistor to pieces.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is have a little piece of sandcloth or even a 3M pad. Go ahead and clean off that part of the piping that you're going to apply your thermistor to. Just clean off, wipe it with your finger, then place it up on top. And, you know, probe placement, just same thing, 10 and 2, just like on a steering wheel. You want the top part. You want to be measuring any oil on the underside of the piping. So once the piping is cleaned, just place your thermistor, pull the strap over, pull it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing I got to emphasize. Don't rub the thing back and forth thinking that you're going to get better. Now, under here, this thermistor, it is black, but as it wears, you know, normal wear and tear, this thing will start turning copper color. The coating will come off. You don't have to be alarmed at that at all. But scrubbing that thing back and forth, it will tear that thermistor off. And honestly, if that comes back over to me, I'm going to take a look at it. That's not a warranty issue. That's an abuse issue. So, I mean, if that's the way you want to do it, these are $63. The other ones are $144. So, you know, me, a couple cents on some sandcloth or a 3M pad, you know, it's a no-brainer for me on that. So just a couple of tips to help you guys out, make your thermistors last a lot longer, get more accurate air measurements.
Yep.
You know, and like we said before, if you have any other questions, reach out to us, call us, email us, and we'll help you out with whatever you got.
That's right. So thank you. That was just a ton of information. So thank you, Eric, for sharing all of that.
Absolutely.
And for those that are watching this, remember, you can call 716-699-2031 option 2, which gives you to our technical group. We have technical support on the East and West Coast. Most likely you'll get Eric, and if not, you'll get somebody here on the East Coast. And so we're here. We stand behind our brand. We stand behind our solution. So we're here for you there. What Eric showed you on the sleeves, those things are just really cool in helping you become less invasive in your process. You can also call that same number, 716-699-2031 option 1, which get you through to Amber and her customer service group to order those, or you can go online to iManifold.com, our shop page, and order those as well. But thank you, Eric. That was great information. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for listening.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.